My best quality is my unwavering allegiance to myself. I know who I am. If you don't or you can't figure it out,
Hello. How is everybody? Good morning, afternoon, good evening, whatever it is. I'm not sure. Um, how's everybody? Um, so wow. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see. Ooh, we have some hey Salty. I thought new member. Welcome in, Salty. You don't need a membership. Kidding. Ah, Faye Loves Nature, member for 2 months. Good morning, Salty Crew here. Yay! Ooh, I've got some updates about the Lindsay Clancy reporter that I do not like. I do not like it much. Um, Forrest, hi, member for 4 months. What? Subscribe, like, share, chat, comment. It helps. I think it does. Hi, Moira's dog mom. Morning. Salty Crew Raid. Nice, nice. Royal We, hello, hello. Um, Nicole, as I live and breathe. Hi. It's been a while. I know, let me just say a few hellos. Did the trailer, first of all, let me ask you this. Did the trailer play or nah about this hobgoblin from the trial? If not, no big whoop. But I think I might have stumbled onto something I don't like. I don't like. But we'll get there. And then we'll get into the Tricia of it all. Ballet Flats is here, thank God. Woo! Hola! ¿Cómo está? Christina! Ahoy! Simi Sharp, hey! Whoa! Is that a pink guitar? Purple guitar? Very nice, very nice. Nice to see you. SC girl, yes, Vanity Fair moron. Also seems to be involved in the fundraiser for the Clancy or for the Musgrove. I think that's her last name. Fundraiser that has over $1 million, which is not making me comfortable. Not making me comfortable at all. CH, yay, as always. Royal We. Morning, morning. Okay. Is it Friday? Oh, thank God. Ooh, I am Grillsy. Happy Friday. Woo, Friday. Yes, it is Friday. Yes, Salty. Good morning. Hi, Molly Colleen. He's a hot. What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? Do it, lady. Well, yeah. So we'll talk about Tricia. I put together, I think I mentioned the other day, with subtext, to the best of my ability, sort of a quasi transcript, because I know that Tricia's not gonna spit out $180 for a transcript or whatever, even though she claims that she had such a glorious day. But first, and I don't know if this is a thing, but I think this is something we gotta talk about. Let me just play this really quickly because I think y'all know who I am talking about when I talk about that idiot who was smizing in the Lindsay Clancy trial, in the gallery. And let's see. Let me get rid of me. I think I have it.
You guys discussed that slide. Did you discuss this discussion? Hey, there's my handsome, sexy man. Oh, wow. That was inappropriate, lady. She's winking and everything. Who is that? You guys know who that is? Did she not just wink at the camera? I mean, what?
People are trying to always make like a female feel bad about themselves, and like I'm not scared to ever stick by what I say. Like if Lovelace is watching this, like, I have the courage of my convictions, and I'm not scared by any means of what I say ever. So I'm like, if you want a Luigi Joni crisis, yeah, no, I literally, they're trying to take the press passes away from, like, some girl, Christina Savion, or whatever the fuck, Christmas, everyone could throw in there. And I'm like, I was message. And I'm like, if my smiling offended you, well, your death threats should definitely affect you, because that's problem itself. But I will always say, and I've said this 10 toes down. Sorry, I don't take my Adderall half the time. I'm not drunk. You know what the funny thing is? I'm either drunk or pregnant. That's literally the two things. And I guess I'd rather be drunk than pregnant. But I mean, that's the ginger ale I've been accused of.
What is wrong with this person? What? Right? Okay. Now, I wasn't going to say anything about this woman, but man, she kept going. And then she tries to play the female card. First of all, women don't refer to themselves as females. I mean, usually. That's usually a dick guy move, in my opinion, in my experience. So, this idiot is a woman named, I keep wanting to say Rebecca, Brittany somebody. I have it, Brittany Romano, I believe it is. And I'll pull up some stuff that I found on this idiot. So she's not a journalist. And let's get that real clear here. She's not even really a reporter. What she is a lifestyle editor, which is fine. But she's also apparently grew up at least around or with or in the neighborhood with Lindsay Clancy. Now, Vanity Fair, which usually used to do some really, really good trial reporting back in the days of Dominic Dunn, whose daughter was murdered and went on to write for them covering lots of trials, sent this idiot to the trial to cover the trial, okay? Based on that relationship, or at least alleged relationship, which is unclear if it still is something that is intact, because as many people know, you know, I have friends from back home that I'm not still close to. Like, I wouldn't go sling up at somebody's trial that I haven't spoken to in 30 years. But I don't know. Anyway, so she lost her job appropriately. So this is like one of those cases of good consequences. Good consequences were, that was a terrible look. You're at the murder trial of 3 young children and a mother who is now, completely damaged, whether by her own hand, we'll let the jury decide. But you don't stand there like an idiot, smizing and smiling and winking. And you heard our Queen Allie saying, because I was like, what did she just do? It was obvious. And so Vanity Fair is like, yeah, we're going to not do work with you anymore. I'm like, yeah, Vanity Fair, guess what? Do some better vetting. Just because this woman used to work for Condé Nast doing handbag photo shoots, does not a juror or does not a serious journalist for a triple homicide murder make. I know you thought you had a great story with the inside scoop with a friend, and the only evidence I've seen so far of this friendship, and maybe there's more, don't care. I don't care, because this woman lost her total rights to anybody should give a shit about her, because she has gone on to double and quadruple down on how she is a victim. And what does this sound like? Does this sound familiar? She talks about being a victim of online hate. Well, here's the thing. I don't think anybody should get online hate, online threats. Not good. Don't go real world, right? Nobody was going real world, from as far as I could tell. But she went straight to Twitter machine And like every nincompoop out there who feels good about what they've done, she started telling people who were being critical of her, and rightfully so, to jump off a cliff. So she was kind of like taking some shots. You know what I mean? She was like, so then this video pops up of her like screaming down the highway, truly sounding like she might be on one. And I'm like, is this not illegal in all the places? Huh? And so I started digging around with it into this woman because I couldn't stop at this point. I'm like, what? It started with trying to figure out what her history was. Well, the only thing that I found, and people, if anybody knows people that have looked into this, please shout it out. But I couldn't find any real proof that she knows the family still. What I did see was a photo she posted, I guess a few days ago, of her and Lindsay Clancy as children, as wee children. And I'm like, okay, great. So you knew this. All right. Maybe you should have comported yourself with a little more seriousness. It is a triple homicide case. You've been given the opportunity to write about this from a perspective of potentially someone that might have some insight, and you cocked it up. Do better, Vanity Fair. Do better. Jesus Christ. Anyway, sorry, let me just take a side break. Docket Decoder, welcome aboard. We have a new member, Docket Decoder. Welcome in. Ah, ha ha. Yay. Welcome. And we have the Bethy Boop. Hello. Thank you guys. Always wonderful. So yes, Docket Decoder. I love Docket Decoder's work, and I do want to put a mention out there that I was really, really grateful for his being very open and vulnerable about his experiences with the psychiatric or psychological community, because it takes courage to do that, especially, you know, in such a judgy Judgerson world. So I wanted to thank him for that. But back to this idiot. So I started digging into her, and you know, the things, the excuses she was making, that she was being penalized for being, you know, a woman, for smiling, and that women are penalized for smiling. It's like, sure. But you know what? They're also penalized for being straight assholes. So don't invoke your lady card right now, okay? You don't get to do that, because what you did was gross, and it got your ass fired for a reason. And there were a few of you young ladies in the crowd who should not have press passes, who shouldn't be taking up seats. You shouldn't. You're gross. Get out of here. Same thing with Lauren and that Machado creature. Nah. Hit the bricks. Yes, public trial should be open. But man, oh man, let's get some decent butts in the seat. Can we? Can we? So fortunately, our, what is her name? Let me see here. This idiot, Brittany Romano. And again, I'm not talking out of school. She has been all over the place, yippity yappity, yippity yappity, trying to CYA, and point the blame toward a misogynistic, polity. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Women are often told to smile, but you were smizing and winking during a murder triple homicide trial. Okay? Guess what? That's not some gross ass person, gross ass dude on the street saying, hey, why don't you smile more? To which I always say, why don't you fuck directly off? Okay? All right. Moving on. So I started looking into her, figured out she had no body of work except for editorial work in the fashion field. Fine. But stay on that side of it then. Then I started finding out that she was posting things about the Lindsay Clancy's husband. What's his name? Patrick? is kind of suspicious. Like she was posting things on an Instagram or a Threads feed that were kind of like, do these tennis shoes match? In this video of Mr. Clancy at a CVS, I'm like, shit. What? I'm like, oh God, she's not one of those. And then things started disappearing, of course. Things started just dropping out of the algo because she started pulling things down from the doodahs. Then, have you seen the TikTok mom who started the fundraiser? Anybody? Anyone? The TikTok mother that started the fundraiser for Lindsay Clancy's parents. Has anybody seen that? Oh, is she still being nasty on X? Ha ha. I told her to fuck off, so. Ancient Teapot. Hi, been a long time. Purple Coconut. Hello. Yeah, Christina, it's like, say you're sorry. Go ahead. Frame an innocent person. I mean, okay. Look, okay. Here's what I found, and I'm gravely concerned, to say the least. Because I really don't. Dental Lori, welcome. You can't handle the tooth. Just kidding. Let me pull this up. Oh God. So this TikTok mom, and I don't get the TikTok. It scares the shit out of me. So I'm getting out of my comfort zone here with you all because I, we're all family, right? We are family. Let me make sure I have this brought up. Shall I allow it? This person is on TikTok, and let me pull up. Actually, let me start with, well, she's up now. Here we go. So who knows about this? Does anybody? Does anybody know about this? This woman started, and I don't, I mean, good on you, I guess, but I don't really understand people that start fundraisers for folks just out of the middle of nowhere. I don't know. I think it's kind of weird, but okay, here we go. So she started this campaign.
Is paying for that attorney. And I think we're all in agreement that he's got a lot of shit left to cook in that kitchen, and we have to help. So tell me what to do, or somebody's got to set it up. This needs to be done. This needs to be done.
Okay. So this was on the 7th of August. We're now sitting at the 28th. The trial is over. The jury's deliberating. So she set up a GoFundMe.
Welcome! I get that. Like, honestly, if you aren't, like, looking into the case, I don't support people that kill their children. And I don't think many other mothers do. But there's some...
I mean, maybe many other people don't. Maybe people generally, not just mothers. Okay, so this is 8:10. Okay, this is 8:10.
Okay, so I looked up Kevin Reddington's information and I called. And it was like his actual voicemail. And it's like, hi, Kevin, it's the man's voicemail.
Okay, so 8:10. And she's starting to answer questions about this GoFundMe that she's proposing. Now, I can really quickly summarize what she has said. Is there a slight echo? I'm sorry. Is it still there? It's probably this. Sorry. Is it gone? I hope so. So I personally don't get it. But so the nutshell of this is that this woman set up a GoFundMe. and set it up in her name because the parents weren't on board yet. Okay. And so she goes on, and actually, let me mute this. See if it'll let me mute this. I don't want to
Okay,
keep
so
playing. Hang on a second.
all right.
Okay, here she is. So this is Brandee Mulligan, and she has started this GoFundMe without the family's approval. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I would never start a GoFundMe for a family without their permission because it feels gross. Thank you. Thank you, CH. God, CH, what would I do without you? I would never do that. Number one, it's sketchy as hell. It's sketchy as hell, in my opinion. You don't do that. You don't just, and you certainly don't reach out. She reached out to Kevin Reddington during a trial. Oh, about a fund. Okay. All right. Fast forward and let me, so she's going up here saying, this is the last thing I'll play. And it might be kind of echoey, but it's the last thing. So I'm sorry.
We got the family. I just got off the phone with Kevin Reddington. We got them. I was holding my niece, and I looked at my phone. I was like, Kevin Reddington! And I was like, I can take this. They got it. We are sending it through GoFundMe right now. Let's leave this family alone. Let's just build them up and surround them with love. Let's get some good going, but we got them. We have a legit thing. I'm not a scammer. So
I'm not a scammer. That's what people say when they're not scammers. So, okay. So on the 14th, she claims to have gotten the go-ahead for this GoFundMe. Okay. Oh my God. But I haven't gotten back to the Brittany, hang on a second. Sorry. The Brittany Romano of it all. Because Brittany comes back into this. Oh. Okay. Let me pull this down. Let me remove her outs. And let's do this. Let me find the actual GoFundMe because this will get right to it. GoFundMe for you know, and it's funny, when I first saw this, I was like, you know, is this a sister? Oh my God, it's been taken down. Holy shit. What? No. Stand by. Oh, y'all. What? Huh? Is that true? I don't know what happened. Hang on. Let me, I gotta go off screen for a second because I gotta come in close. Hang on. So is it really not found? Jesus Christ. Musgrove Family Fund. The money belongs, oh my God. Okay, so hang on a second. Okay, so maybe it's still here. Hang on. Lord Almighty. Let me share my screen. Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Am I not here? 40 Ford? Huh? Wait, am I back or no? Am I back or no? Oh no. Okay. I don't know what happened. Anyway, so it looks like, okay, so I'm here. I don't know what happened. Okay. Weird. So, this is Brandee Mulligan. Let's see. She started the Musgrove Family Fund. Okay. It's got a boatload of money in it, as you can see here. So north of $1 million and counting. So I was like, well, that's interesting. Okay. It says Brandee Mulligan for Michael Musgrove. Now, I don't know what donation protected. Guarantee you have a full refund in rare cases something isn't right. Okay. I mean, can anybody just put somebody's name on it? Because she said that they got the family's permission and that she was making Michael Musgrove, which is Lindsay Clancy's father, the beneficiary. Right? So here's the thing that I want to go back to, though. On August 24th, we're at one point, whatever. Actually, I have cried many times. One of you got us here, and I cannot thank you enough. I'm going to be a little less than available this week because my little 6'5" baby brother is getting married. Okay, whoever, whatever. We aren't done yet. Thank you. Thank you. I love you all. Have a great night. So Brandee is out and about. Okay. So then it's like, let's see. There is one more update, I believe. Look who it's written by, y'all. Yeah. Can you see that? It's written by Brittany Romano. This update is written by Brittany Romano. So, the purpose of the fundraiser was not for legal fees because I think people, and truly people know this, because there were fundraisers going on during Mr. Allen's trial, and you can't directly through GoFundMe raise for a for legal fees. Now, so this was started again. This is deeply problematic. It could be completely legit. I'm not saying it's not. That is not what I am saying here. What I am saying is that when you got this smizing idiot writing this thing for you, like, how did those two come together? Let me read it for you. This is an update, okay? And this was written on August 19th. The Musgrove Family Fund, January, okay, so it goes through now on trial, blah, blah, blah. For more than 3 years, okay. Mike is a photographer. They have spent years absorbing. They have not walked away from their daughter. So this is what Smizer, okay? Smizer McSmizerson. Brittany is writing. They have not walked away from their daughter, and they've never been unclear about why. They love her. Nothing about this fund asks anyone to share their view of Lindsay or the criminal case. It asks donors to recognize the extraordinary financial burden on her parents that they have carried simply by continuing to be present. Of course. The purpose is to help Mike and Paula rebuild their financial stability. They have sacrificed. Contributions will help cover the accumulated cost of travel, lodging, living expenses, and other family expenses arising from their continued support of Lindsay through her case. Mike and Paula are the named beneficiaries and direct recipients of the fundraiser through GoFundMe. The fund was established with their knowledge and consent. That's not true. So first of all, we know that was not true based on what the woman who started it told us. Right? She started it, and then a couple weeks later, she tells us she got a hold of Reddington. I don't know. Yes, this is written. So now this is written. This is why I was like, holy shit, I didn't want to know about any of this. I didn't. Uh, it's not great. And I hope to God, you know, let me just say this. Oh, let me finish reading this. This is making me absolutely insane. The Musgroves will control the fund and determine how they are used for the purposes described above. The case will eventually reach its conclusion, whatever that outcome is. Mike and Paula will still have to pick up the pieces and lives they have put on hold to be there for their daughter. They should not have to face the future without the financial foundation they spent decades building. If you believe Mike and Paula deserve support, please donate or share the Musgrove Family Fund. Thank you so much for your time. This update was written by Brittany Romano for Brandee Mulligan. You know, a couple things here. First of all, what are you doing having an idiot who is, again, okay, first of all, Vanity Fair, did you know that this woman was involved with a fundraiser for the family? Because this is where my mind goes. And this is me just spitballing, making shit up now. But my mind immediately goes to, is this woman involved with a fundraiser to try to curry favor with the family? Because how can I not think that? Because how can I not think that? Because she's placed herself in the middle of it. She's tried to make herself an internet darling by being an absolute dickbag. And also, my God, what if this actually does end up going to the family? And they're like, wait a minute. This Brittany Romano creature is the same person who was smiling during the murder trial of our 3 grandchildren and our daughter. That looks great. That looks great. Nothing adds the veneer of credibility like a woman who cannot comport herself in a court of law, who gets their asses kicked to the curb by Vanity Fair, who should have never been hired by Vanity Fair. So I'm concerned. Let's just say that. I'm concerned. Am I making too much of it? Maybe. Maybe. Could be. Yes, she gets the creature. Yes, SC girl. Am I making too much of this? What say all eyes? Listening while doing stuff, but hate everyone except for the weirdo in the green dress that can't say sorry like a normal person. Right. I don't know. I mean, God, I hope this is not some weird scam. I really hope it's not. I really hope that whoever this person that started it, this Brandee person, which, why do that, lady? God. Ugh. This Brandee Mulligan, and does Brandee, somebody might want to call Brandee Mulligan and let her know what Brittany Romano did. Did you guys miss who, Brittany, what do you guys think? Truly, what do you think of this? It's gross, sure. Let's see. Oh, hi, Dr. Macy. It's given Lauren Matthias. Nicole, no matter the original intention, it's all tainted and gross now. I mean, Could be, maybe not. But I find it odd. I find this confluence of situations bizarre, that this Brittany person was writing for Vanity Fair, is absolutely incapable of behaving like a grown-up at this solemn trial, gets fired from Vanity Fair, goes on to write an update on behalf of this Brandee Mulligan who started this fundraiser. How did those two meet? Why did those two meet? Did Brittany reach out and think, hey, I want to get in on this to write about it? Who knows? I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't feel right. Green dress was giving you Today Show vibes. Yes, when they panned the crowd. Oof. You aren't wrong. Dropped by publication. She freelances. And that's the thing, Molly Colleen. She is not. She's actually not a reporter. She did editing work for different publications, but she did like fashion magazines, and it shows. Because she, along with Jess Machado, were making weird tweets and things about what people were wearing. Yuck. Salty says, when you know what you've done, apologize. If you aren't clear about what you've done, ask. Your lips to God's ears, goddess's ears. Lover of bad puns says the true crime YouTube community has some big problems. Ancient Teapot says, even if it's on the financial is on the up and up, it's gross self-insertion to something that is way out of bounds. I tend to agree. So Router Repo, she reached out. I don't know how you know that, but I would love to know how you know that. Els the Elder, in the year of our Lord, 2026, why are we still allowing scanners to go open GoFundMe for vulnerable people? I don't know. I don't know. I do think, to be fair, again, I don't know if this Brandee Mulligan, who is the starter of this, again, I would never start a fundraiser for somebody because I don't want to be responsible for that kind of shit. It's kind of like when Machado grifted off the veterans. It's like, just put the link in the chat, if you want to do that. So Brandee Mulligan may not know who this person is or what this person has done. So, I'm okay with that. But the problem is this Brittany person and the association that it has, separate and apart from what may or may not be on the up and up with, making claims that Mr. Reddington, who is not, let's get clear too. When we watched the TikToks, she said that she got a call from Reddington and that the family was on board. Really? Because he's not the parents' lawyer. Certainly they communicate. Certainly they hang out, etc. But that doesn't make it a go. And putting the father's name on it doesn't make it a go. So I am hopeful that it's legit and that this person's name is removed from this. CH. And when you're asked a question about your behavior, don't say, that's a great question. God. I Am Grills, he said, I can imagine Brandee started it to make herself feel important and do goody. And then Romano leads on to get her ingratiate herself into the situation. I mean, that feels right. Feels right. What the hell are you talking about, Molly Colleen? Oh, you know what? Jesus Christ. Molly Colleen has alerted me to a tragic fact. Did you see her ask Reddington if he was a Swiftie? What is happening? This is a murder trial, weirdo. Holy shit. Oh my God. Oh my God. You guys, I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm deceased. Oh no. Mr. Great Question has been hanging around with Lauren again, the Sam Bateman. I did see that. Oh, don't apologize, Router. It's a guess. I was just like, tell me more. I don't, SC Girl, as a, is Lauren still attending the trial? Anyone know? I don't think she is. I don't know. Repro Router said, I've changed my name at Jolene's to Repro Just Router. I feel naked. No one knows who the heck I am. Ah, the artist formerly known as Mary Romine. Okay. Thank you. Disgusts you? What are you? Oh my Lord. Wait a minute. Green dress wrote to TB. Oh, I can't wait. Can't wait. Do that. She's back ripping butts and listening to Iron Maiden. Oh my God. Yuck. Cease and desist. She may be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs for sure, Feliso Shields. But she's also making it even worse on herself. To me. Green Dress wrote TB. Yuck. Yuck. All eyes on Delphi. I'm multitasking, but hey to all my favorite people in here, by the way. Yeah. Niche reference in the quote, says Nicole. I don't know what it is. Ballet flats. Hey girl, hey girl. We met a chick. I almost read that as chic. It's actually chick jeans. Okay. At the Daybell trial, that was a total, quote, green dress girl. She even offered her womb to Lauren. Yes. Ha ha ha. TB called to chew her out first, to be fair. So he talked to this person? Gross. Sis, you should have been a detective. You're the artist formerly known as Prince. R.I.P. My God. Ugh. I still get sad that Prince has left us. Yeah. Christina, don't forget, in her opinion, we were the problem. Lies. No, I think Janice, I think that's pretty well established that even though Lauren went on lied her face off both in court documents and on her 9-hour live, take it down, you weirdo, about the harvesting of her brother's sperm. Yuck. I think it's pretty well established. She just tries to make everybody else shut up. 4-minute voicemail. Oh, God. How the hell did he get her phone number? I don't know if I can listen to it. I just, I think that that's so gross. Don't. I don't know, man. Salty says, ooh, and I agree. I don't even know what it's about. Brenda K gifted 5 Andy Copsa memberships. Thank you so much. Welcome. You have some fun, exciting emojis. One's of Dr. John. One is with a little king baby hat on. Another one is, of course, of Toots, and the always useful Kate. Also, there is a video hanging out over in Yield members only space. That's kind of a work in progress. About, you know, Lauren Matthias probably making false police reports, which is illegal. So I've started putting something together. You're welcome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Wow. So, all right. I guess we move on to, do we move on to Tricia McFarty Pants? Oh my God. Wait. Janice 2 of 2. I got to go to 1 of 1. What is happening? Let me see. Was this the womb lady? Womb with a view? Get it? Oh, it's already been a weird day. I've been up since 5. Okay, so this is the womb lady. All right, 2 of 2. To their surprise, when they opened their eyes, she was standing in the middle of a prayer circle. What? What are you talking? Oh, God. Oh, Janice. You're killing me. You're killing me. Tell me you're lying. Ugh. No, not good. Not good. Okay. So sis says you should have been a detective. I'm preparing. I hope everything is okay. When you're a caretaker every day, you wake up, you don't know what you will be facing. Oh, did I miss something? Oh no. I don't know what's going on, but caretakers are the best. So should we move on? I mean, or do we want to go and look at some of her? Here's all I can say. What I can say is I hope to God that this is legit. I just don't see. I wish I knew more about monthly cause. Yikes. Hang on. This fund has grown. Okay. August 24th. All right. So but how do we know that he's a beneficiary? So it says Brandee Mulligan is the organizer from Wisconsin, which is okay. And Michael Musgrove is a beneficiary. Does he know that? This profile is private. I don't know what that means. I don't know. It all kind of means nothing to me. I'm going to hope for the best. On this one. So yeah, we need story time with Janice and Christina. Christina's got some stuff going on that I'm really interested in. Kathy Shields asked the most obvious question: why would you offer your womb to have a dead man's baby? It's alarming. Yeah. Cannot disagree. Because you're weird, I guess. I don't know. It's what? Get her out of Wisconsin, Brandee. Let's see. Trista told Lauren she felt left out when I was in town hanging out with her and Lindsay. And when I was in line, you guys with Lindsay, but okay. I was a problem. Who creates drama in line and trial? Not me. Are you two spatting? I hope not. My God, my entire world will fall down. But yes, we do need, okay, hang on. What is this? We've got expert of all coming in hot. Recap of voice note. She talks in circles and smiles when she's nervous. Can't understand why she's the only one people are talking about when other people around her were also in, I assume, in the shot. And I agree. Look, we're also inappropriate. She's not wrong. The rest of them should get the fuck out of there too. I mean, I don't know who the hell those were, but I think it was her because it was so glaringly obvious. Because it was so glaringly obvious, and because she had shared, much like some of these people that are online that share the totality of their life online. She shared in an Instagram post, I guess, that she had been like either friends, and maybe she didn't say friends, but had grown up with Lindsay Clancy. So she had placed herself right in the middle of the story, much like Lauren hang on. Ambulance. Much like Lauren Matthias does to everybody else's tragedy, right? Absorbs it, envelops herself in it. Gross, gross, gross. So that's why I think, and also because she came out like, and just swinging on Twitter over something that really should have been, she should have just taken a beat. Taken a beat and thought maybe smizing is not the best thing. Now look, I can make weird faces on accident and whatever, but I can bite my tongue and not be an asshole. That's not what happened here. They were like, what's the camera? Am I looking over here in this camera? This one? That's why people are coming for you. Now, I hope first of all, she needs to stop saying it's about being a woman. I would like to think that if it was a dude that did that he would get his ass taken to the woodshed in the parking lot. Metaphorically speaking. But you just, yeah, salty. Lauren traumatized a family of victims. She has no problem trashing her friends. Well, and you know, I think about this too. And so that's another thing that I think about, Salty, when I look at this GoFundMe that may have started from a really good idea. And look, I'm willing to give people the benefit of the doubt. I just think that, you know, we've seen them go terribly wrong before. We've seen ones that go right that are treated like they go wrong, like the one for Mr. Allen, you know, that was created appropriately and through an actual attorney, not on GoFundMe. And then we've seen, you know, Tricia's cancer GoFundMes that I've shown before. So I think that we're rightfully suspicious. I think that happens. I think that when I'm thinking about victims, certainly the family, and including Patrick and look, there's no getting around this man. I got nothing to say about him. But my thing is this Brittany Romano person. You know, you positioned yourself right in the middle of it by being a friend of. You put a picture of yourself with Lindsay Clancy during a Halloween get-together or a birthday celebration. You placed yourself in a position of de facto power. I mean, really, you put yourself right in there. Without any sort of idea, and I want to put some of the blame on Vanity Fair's editorial team, because should have been vetted a lot better than this. She doesn't have a writing history, so maybe she was going to get a lot of help. But I am glad that they yanked her credentials for Vanity Fair. I don't know if she got new credentials just as an independent journalist, which she's not. Again, that's why we got to be careful with that. But the re-victimization that could happen kind of going back to Sleuthy's thing about Lauren re-victimizing all the people and making new offendees and victims, or Tricia or whoever these horrible trolls are out here. And I mean like ogre beneath a bridge troll. What happens if this GoFundMe thing is actually legit and the family sees that this woman that was smiling, again, this woman that was smiling during this, probably one of the most tragic cases or trials I've seen streamed. There's catastrophic trials and horrible trials going on all the time, but this is specifically one, obviously, that's being live streamed. So then what? When you see that this woman who's smiling there with her little BFFs from, you know, Alpha Delta Pi or Delta Kappa, whatever, it's very self-centered. It's very stupid, and it's not even ignorant. And you go on and you double down and quadruple down by making a video of yourself driving down the road, talking into the camera. I mean, it's just, is it not illegal? God, can we not put a stop to all these people, these idiots driving like just whatever her name is? It'll surprise you none. It'll surprise you zero to find out Jess Machado and this woman were like friends at the trial. But, you know, whatever. Gross recognizes gross. Let me see. Let me see what you guys are saying. Ooh, water aerobics. Mario's dog's mom, have to watch replay. Don't be sorry. Love the replay, people. Water aerobics. Enjoy. Have a good water doodly ding dong. Kathy Shields says some people just want to attach to anything. Me, I just want to go sit in my closet. I mean, so I don't know, man. Oh, this is a good point. I bet LM was her bestie too. Maybe. I wonder when she got her credentials, because I don't know. But you know, the thing, I guess the one other thing about this particular issue with this Romano, with this Brittany person, is that there at least was some measure of accountability, because Vanity Fair, because she was working for Vanity Fair on this particular article. She's not a staffer, but they terminated their relationship when this was obviously flew in the face of their editorial standards. There's no accountability for people like Lauren Matthias or Tricia or Machado, right? Unless they're getting their asses roasted, appropriately so, or getting exposed, appropriately so. You know, and so when this young woman has difficulty understanding why everybody is singling her out, it's because you can't not expect people to have a visceral and immediate reaction to what you did in that specific situation. It's very clearly disgusting. Okay? Very clearly disgusting. Much like Lauren cannot expect to not have everyone lose their minds, appropriately so, over her leaving a wake of victims and family members in her destructive path, lying about it, and then costing a private citizen well north of 60 grand when you falsely accused her of being your stalker. You can't expect people to not come and say, lady, suck it. Suck it. Tricia, sweetie, you can't expect people to not call you out for being an absolute scumbag for trying to get Janet's house, IRA, and cars and try to act like you're doing a good deed. You can try. Nah. People see right through that. Not everybody. Clearly not enough people. Do you want me to read a little bit of what I put together as sort of a transcript of the Tricia stuff? Well, we're all still waiting for a, what do you call it? Verdict? Oh, thank you for the jewels. I'm not sure what these are, but I love that. Thank you. Yes, please. Thank you. Okay. So I was speaking with you all about, trying to talk with, so again, but just let me wrap that part up. I think that this entire thing, I'm not suggesting this GoFundMe is not going to end up in the right hands. What I am suggesting is that there is a lot of abject fuckery and none of it's good. And I think that it's even more sketchball that this lady, McGreen dress, McSmiserson, is now involved or has inserted herself in that. And I do hope somebody gets a hold of this Brandee person who started it and says, look, man, you might want to get her name the fuck off there. Maybe somebody will. Not me, but you know. Okay, so where did we last leave off? Let me pull up my little. So as many of you know, Tricia had a great day in court, and she'll be the first one to tell you about it. Trying to take all of Janet's money that she thinks that Janet has, when I think that it's probably not as much as she thinks. One reason I think that is because, you know, her house is only worth, and I should say only, but let me just be clear, around $300,000. Now that's a lot of money. Okay. It is. Oh, don't get me wrong. But maybe it was just me, but I really got the impression that Tricia thought there was some gravy there, some big old gravy, like cajillions, cha-ching, cha-ching, all the way to the bank. But on the call, during the hearing, they actually looked up the price of her home, and it was around $300,000, which I honestly, I don't know what the market's like. As far as Texas goes, but the market is not great. So who knows? And two older cars and what was said to be a smaller IRA. So I went through my notes and I did sort of a short live when I was overseas, just kind of recapping it. But then I spoke with subtext and tried to kind of go through and see if we couldn't pick each other's brains. And so basically, I'm just going to try to go through it. Obviously, the judge came in and just introduced himself, and the judges introduced themselves and went ahead and spelled their names. And so it's James Balin. Balin is for Janet Mills. So Balin, and the other dude is Strawn. So Balin and Strawn. So Strawn is Tricia's lawyer, which is, how's she paying for that? We'll get there. So they just introduce themselves and basically get down to brass tacks. And just go through, first goes to Mr. Balin, who is the one who brought the Linda Mills motion to preclude Tricia. So it was a motion in limine hearing is what it was supposed to be. It turned into much more, I think, it didn't, it certainly wasn't a motion in limine hearing, but I do think there was some resolution at the end of the day. So he launched into this thing just basically laying out that they want to bar her from any future appearances on the docket in this matter, having any say, and that the will leaves absolutely no doubt where the money was going, and that they had already gone through the hoops of getting consent from the Tri-City Animal Shelter, who has, if you go back to the docket, there's 3 cities and that are involved in the Tri-City Animal Shelter. One of the city attorneys had already signed that they were cool with it, and put that on file when this motion in limine came forward. So he alludes to all that. The Cedar Hill attorney, I think, is who it was. And so he went through all that and basically said, let me see, I put it up on my screen so I could read it, that she filed opposition to be the administrator. And I want to put in here that, bear in mind, she didn't just file to be, creditor. She tried to get the heirship from the very beginning, if you remember that. There's a whole list of her court documents that I went through after everybody thought that it was vacated, where there was a vacation notice, and it was not. It was an actual vacation on the part of one of the attorneys. So, anyway, so keep that in mind. She wanted the heirship from the beginning. She didn't want to just be an independent administrator, which is all that that Linda was asking to be, with the co-signature of the Cedar Hill city attorney, who was one of the 3 city administrators for the Tri-City Animal Shelter. Okay. So he goes through and reads some of the affidavit, which was not signed until after the proceeding, that Tricia put into the record, which was batshit crazy, wanting everything, wanted the house, claim that, and we can pull that up too. I don't know if anybody's read it in a while, but basically it said there's no documentation that Miss Griffith is claiming that Miss Wolford promised to give her her house, and the attorney actually said, and I quote, because I wrote it down, because I laughed, and I quote, a little chunk of her IRA, right? A little chunk of the IRA. Okay. So he then went on to argue the obvious. Whether or not the statements were made, there's no way that you can make any sort of claim that they were. Because there is, they went through, like, there's a statute of limitations and all these other things, but the biggest thing is that there is a will that is unequivocal, right? And that this will is clear in what Janet's intentions were in the event of the 2 people who she had listed as beneficiaries. In the event of their death, which they did die, it was all to go to the Tri-City Animal Shelter. Very clear. Very clear. So, now, there's no written agreement. He went on to just, articulate the obvious. There's no written agreement. There's no evidence. It's basically just Tricia saying, trust me, bro. Now, he didn't say that. I did. There was there was no oral agreement. Cannot be enforceable when it violates the statute of frauds, which is a whole other thing. If it is a contract for the sale of the property or an agreement based on providing services that cannot be performed, okay, within a year. So there is a lot of allegations that Tricia made, and he gets into them a little bit here, about how Tricia claimed in her documentation that Janet asked her to move to Texas, and that Tricia moved to Texas at her detriment, at Janet's request, for the promise of her being given the house and everything that isn't nailed down. Okay? Yeesh. So, unsigned affidavit. So he points out that she had an unsigned affidavit that she states that she moved here in 2021, began providing services to Miss Wolford. Now, this is the part that everybody needs to pay attention to, because this is when I didn't know this information, and I think Penny probably did go through it. I have not gotten a chance to catch up on it, because I know Penny was in the WebEx as well. That Miss Wolford, so Janet, paid for Tricia's housing. Okay? Not only did Janet Wolford pay for Tricia's housing while she was in Texas. Again, this could be compensation, right? Even if Tricia is alleging something that could be proved. What he's saying here is, hey man, guess what? Did you know Janet paid for all of her housing? I mean, we kind of did. We kind of knew that, right? But here he is saying it in a document, or in a court hearing. So she died. He just goes on to say, you know, that she died in 2025, longer than the term of a year, which is the limit. Basically the limit on any services rendered, right? So, because what Tricia is trying to say is, I was owed all of this going back to 2021 because I moved here because Janet forced me to. Basically is what she's saying. And that I was promised something. We know that's bullshit, because we've seen the wonderful compilations that the OLAP has gone to, and many other people have put together, where Tricia's very clearly living in her car, not knowing where she's going to end up. Her roof's caving in. She's grifting money off an old man in Minnesota. And all the while, she's now telling a court in an unsigned affidavit, which she did sign afterwards, but my God, that she moved there on the promise of getting all of this shit from Janet, because now apparently, let me just see here. Let me go by my notes. Yeah. So he just goes on to wrap it up and say, basically, she's shown nothing, no business records, no invoices, no hours, no accounting, of any service to Janet. And so they just basically said, you know, we're kind of standing on our pleadings here. And that and this was a part that stuck out to me, is that he said that Tricia Griffith is a stranger to this case. And I might have mentioned this the other day, but he didn't mean stranger to Janet. He meant stranger to the case in the legal sense. You got no business here. But Tricia's attorney had a response. This guy, Waltz. First of all, he said that it was laughable that Tricia was a stranger. Dude, you know what Attorney Balin meant? You know he meant stranger in the legal sense, you turd. I need you to bear in mind here too that Strawn dismissed all but, you know, when they were claiming fraud and all this other shit. He made that motion to drop those claims, the fraud claims against Linda that they were making, fact-free, and based on a stolen phone, as per Tricia's own statements, as per Stacy Lord of the Frogs statements of jacking her phone and her purse from her dead lady hospital room. So yeek. So he just goes through the procedural stature of the filing a petition for heirship, dependent for an administrator, just saying that subsequently the will was produced. After we had asked her several times, well, Tricia, who the fuck are you to ask? This is the other thing too, man. It's like, really? Asked you? Who the fuck are you? So they're objecting to this appointment of administrator. He said that his client, Tricia, is an interested person and opposed the appointment. Miss Wolford and Tricia had an agreement and understanding, this person says, that she would receive property from her estate. And what he fails to say here is all of her property, literally all the proceeds from the property. Okay. Property from the estate, if, he said, Tricia would take care of her during her lifetime. Goes on to say in detail that Tricia Farty McGrifterson, whose house caved in literally, even though she grifted tons of money, moved from Utah and cared for the decedent for federal years in reliance on that promise. Now, that's very calculated because promissory estoppel is what they're going for. Promissory estoppel is an actual thing. In reliance on a promise, you did such and such to your detriment. Well, I don't think they'd be able to prove that, not in a million years, based on the fact that Tricia can't keep her mouth shut and has told everybody and everyone that she just sort of was spitballing and flying by the seat of her pants when she moved to Texas. Just, wacky. So this idea that she was going down, keep in mind too that Helen, the deceased nun, she also was going out to stay with that lady. Remember in California, that money still hasn't been distributed out there. Yuck. Weird, right? Take care of her during your lifetime. So yeah, he claims that she moved down there for that specific purpose, and just said that he filed a motion with all of his legal mumbo jumbo about creditors and standing. And this part is actually true, but I don't think it's anything to get ugly or crazed about because I don't think it's going to happen. But he did say that a creditor needs only assert a colorable claim, meaning that it's something that could be possible. That's like the lowest bar. It's like, could it be possible that this crazy lady, that this absolute asshole of a human being, who's told the entire internet that she's jacked a dead woman's phone, is it possible that she performed some things that maybe she's owed? Sure, that's colorable. That just means that it's like, you can say it, but you're going to have to prove it up. And then he just explained it's unsigned, and that was just, a filing error. Really? Okay, well, whatever. I'll have it signed later that day. It's only facially plausible. Yeah, even if it's ultimately determined, and this is important, Tricia, even if it is ultimately determined to be incorrect, if her assertion, it only needs to be plausible. Even if it's a fucking lie. Now, he said incorrect, but I'm going to say even if it's a fucking lie, because you could use either word. Because we know Tricia's nothing if not a big fat liar face. There's several modes of relief here, he goes on, which I was like, Jesus Christ. Okay, modes of relief. Let's see. Promissory estoppel. So he just leans into these arguments. Breach of contract, which is bullshit because there's a will. There's a will that's been accepted by the court. There's no contract presented for the court to rule on. Is it facially possible? Yeah. Maybe. But we know it's not because she hasn't produced it. Promissory estoppel, all of which can be substantiated by pure parole evidence. Now, parole evidence is basically a wink and a nod. And I kind of explained a little bit about this before. It's kind of like the realm in which there could possibly be a place where a text message, etc., could be, in part, to show a sort of cumulative agreement. You know. But in and of itself, one piece of parole evidence is not enough. And all we've heard Tricia scream on about is that she said in a text message. Okay, well, that's not going to cut it, weirdo. And I'm sorry, I'm ignoring the chat for right now. But anyway, so yeah, you need not submit any documentation of any records in regards to that. Well, you kind of do. I mean, he says parole evidence, you don't need to submit any records. I think what he means is you don't need to submit a written document or a contractually binding document. But you do have to show proof. You can't just pull it out of your ass. We don't have to get to the essence, and this was an interesting part. We don't have to get to the essence of her claim, Tricia's claim. Okay? Because that's not what they were there for. He goes out of his way to say, we don't need to get into all of that. Because that's not what we're here for today. We're just trying to fuck everything up for the animals. Because Tricia wants her Hollywood ending. So Mr. Strawn, Attorney Strawn, didn't want to get into all of that. Because they only had to show maybe it's possible that Tricia is owed all of these things from Janet's hard work and enterprise, even if it turns out to be a load of horse shit. That's me just being real technical with the law. So he goes on to say, and this blew me away too. Yeah, stranger. I think that's incredibly factually incorrect. Bitch, these folks have known each other for a very long time. And he claims that Tricia actually lived with Janet. Huh? What? God, I mean, they lived together? I've forgotten about that part of it. So Tricia basically lived with, oh my God, gross. Right. So he then goes on to concede that Janet signed a waiver and made the concession to the Cedar Hill Animal Shelter and tries to claim that they aren't the direct beneficiary. Well, no, you dumbass. That's because there's three cities in the Tri-City Animal Shelter. That was just one of them. So a representative of Duncanville was there at the hearing. So even they concede that Tri-City is the right, and he kept using words like seems to be the rightful beneficiary. I'm like, well, yeah, seems to be, because it's in a will. It's an illegal will that's been accepted, you fool. So his name is Robert Hager. He represented the city of Duncanville. He didn't put in his appearance till after the fact, whatever. And then he went on to explain to the court and to Mr. Strawn as well, that they didn't specifically name the city of Duncanville, and he went on to explain sort of how there's these three communities, Cedar Hill, DeSoto, and Duncanville, is the reason why it's called Tri-Cities, and that they're all owners. So the Cedar Hill attorney that signed Linda Daphne's, thing, saying yes, we'd receive it, is legit. So she had already started doing all of the things necessary and filing that. So Attorney Hager goes on to just say that they all get 1/3 of it because they maintain the shelter together. And the proceed, yeah. So they basically he just goes on to say they basically be a pass through. And he actually references the lawyer, Mr. McFarland, who is the Cedar Hill city attorney. And he made a special, and again, this is the person that filed, hey, Linda Mills has been in contact with me about this Tri-City Animal Shelter thing, and we're ready to receive the monies for whatever it is to go toward our 1/3 of this fund for the Tri-City puppies and kitties and iguanas. Attorney Hager from Duncanville says, hey, by the way, I know Attorney McFarland. He is the city attorney, and he's known him for longer than he would like to admit. Ha ha ha. We all chuckled. So funny. And, he just said that he knows everybody in their respective cities. Then the judge just said, where is he? Who knows? Wasn't there. He wasn't there. It was a motion in limine, for Christ's sake. Why are any of us here? It should have just stood on its papers. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Let me see. Formerly the city council. Okay. So this is when it got into the representative, Jesus Christ, Attorney Hager from Duncanville just went on to say to the court, I know McFarland, I know, that this has been entered into the record by Linda Daphne, and that he has to go to his city council. The procedure there is for him in Duncanville that he would then have to go to city council and get the approval to accept the funds. Cedar Hill maybe has a different thing. Duncanville didn't. So he said that there was an upcoming city council meeting on August 18th, and sure shooting there was, and sure as hell it was on the agenda to receive this money. Okay, great. That's 2 of the 3 city attorneys. Right? We should be done here. No, we're not. So, Miss Mills was, oh God, Linda, terrible. She could not find her ass with both hands on that Zoom call. she was interrupting and being all weird. And I don't know if it's just because she's old, but man, she made Bob Motta look like a tech wizard. So basically, just kind of fast forwarding, the judge just said that the estate needs to be administered. This is when the estate needs to be administered. And then she was talking about, she was fixing to talk about appointing a private or an independent administrator. And then she said, who are all these other people? And this is the moment that was heard around the world. When Tricia Griftery McFarter Pants called me a troll. The judge goes, well, who are all these other people? First of all, it's public hearing. Don't ever let anybody tell you that it isn't, Tricia, you big fat liar face. Okay? Open to the public. Okay? Lauren, listen up. You too. Nobody's coming for you and your kid. It's open courtroom. Okay? Dumbasses. Let's see. And I went back and I made sure that I heard this correctly. I did hear Penny refer to it, and then I did ask subtext. I'm like, now, what exactly was this? Well, basically just who all is here, and called my name because my name starts with an A, and apparently that's where that started. Who is Andy Kopsa? Oh, I didn't get a word out of my mouth. Nary a word escaped my lips. You know why? Because fuckface McGrifterson dipshitty Stan said, I'm sorry, Your Honor. That's somebody not connected with the case. That's an internet troll. Which point I said, excuse me, no, it's not. My name is Andy Kopsa. I'm a professional reporter, and I'm a court observer. And then I just explained we'd spoken to Miss Peggy before this hearing, got all the details. My understanding is that this is an open hearing. I'm happy to leave. She's like, nope, okay. That was it. Moved on. Tricia stepped all over, sounded like a fool. She sounded like a horse's ass. Ma'am, you're in court. Yes, she called me a troll. Yes, Olaf. Yes. That's just some internet troll. Yes, she did. I was like, ma'am, at least say, oh my God, first of all, the judge wasn't talking to you. Wait your turn to call me a troll. Have some self-respect. I was like, okay, but she was talking to me though. I'm like, no, my name, and I just gave her my name, spelled it, said I'm a reporter. Explained that it's an open trial, and I was there, and I talked to Miss Peggy, and got the calling number. So, yeah. It's like, wow. I felt bad for the judge. I felt bad for everybody there. Because it's like, bitch, what is wrong with you? Tricia, you're trying to get all of this estate, and you're coming off looking like a lunatic. Ixnay on the old tray. Okay, sweetie? By the way, Tricia, you know I called you. You know I called you and left you a voicemail asking you what the truth was because you were handing out your cards like candy at CrimeCon. You never called me back. So now I know she knows who I am because she calls me an internet troll. Clearly she knows who I am. Anyway, but it was embarrassing. And I was just like, not for me. I don't give a shit. I mean, that lunatic calling me a troll, it's like, okay. Anyway, moving on. So then we moved down the line, but it was hilarious. Not connected with the case. That's an internet troll. No, it's not. My name is Andy Kopsa, Kopsa. Give me a bing. Anyway, so we moved on. And then there was subtext, who shall remain nameless. Then there was just asking who they were, just public observers. And then a local resident. And then Linda, it's just, I have in here, it's like Linda interrupts because she's still like trying to find it's almost like I envision her pushing an old timey intercom. And I'm like, oh my God, somebody get grandma out of here. Bless her. But man, get out of here. So they had to yeet her because she just couldn't figure it out. And then Penny, just a member of the public. Okay, all right. So then that was it. So Tricia had a hissy, and then the judge was like, moving on. What are the assets? Because that's what we're there for. That's what this hearing was about, is for the judge to administrate this woman, dead woman, her estate. That's what we're here for. You're not on YouTube, Tricia. Like, have some self-respect, you weirdo. Gross. But then again, I guess when you sit in a shack begging for money every month, I guess you don't have any self-respect. But man, it was a good day in court for you, wasn't it? Okay. Anyway. So moving on, it really wasn't that long of a hearing. So then basically we just went through what are the assets. Let's see. There is one point, and I don't know, and I guess maybe Penny, I would have to reach out to her and see if she has a memory of this or not. But at one point the judge said, let me go back and address Miss Griffith. And then she said, actually, I'll address your attorney. And I'm like, ooh, burn. Sick Judge Burn. Ooh, hoo, hoo. Yeah, the dance. Woo. Sorry. I'm not looking at chat until now. Hilarious. So funny. Funny stuff. What an idiot. So let's see. What else? What else did she say? Okay. So then basically it just says, then Linda's attorney looked up the actual going rate, the property for $338,000 per decal. I don't know what that is. I just wrote down decal and I could have misheard it. She passed in 2025. It's been a year. So she then said she would give each party a chance to be heard. Because again, remember what Attorney Strawn said is like, look, man, we just have to spitball and it has to be kind of colorable, maybe plausible, even if it's straight bullshit. So the judge is doing exactly what she's supposed to, giving both parties. And when we're talking about both parties, be very, very clear. Linda had already opted out and said, look, this is just going to Cedar Hills attorney to be passed through to Tri-City. So this is not about Tricia intercepting some sort of crazy shit going on that Linda Daphne was doing. Linda Daphne was already out of it. She was trying to get fucking Tricia out of the mix because she knew that Tricia was coming in like the mayor's wife. So, then, and this kind of blew me away because again, at the beginning of this whole screed, I did say something to the effect that Strawn the attorney for Fartface said, that I said that they had dropped that allegations of fraud. And I'm like, well, good, because, ugh. And he put that into a filing. Well, lo and behold, he brings up a slightly less accusatory mismanagement of funds and makes that claim aloud against Linda Daphne. Nobody seemed to give a shit. Certainly not Linda Daphne's attorney. At least that's not the vibe I got. But I was like, sir, you're making an allegation that you dropped. You're making an allegation during a hearing that you, in a court filing, dropped. But here you are. I was like, I don't know how that's legally, it just seems like an untenable position to me, but what do I know? So basically, so she said something to the effect, the judge said something like, there's a claim, the claims that Tricia's making were a significant portion of the assets. Okay. And that there are some legal hurdles that have not been crossed. Yeah. Meaning, statute of frauds, the dead man's rule, respect to statements that have been made that can't be brought in. There's all these different probate specific laws that Tricia is just not going to be able to overcome, in my opinion. She's not. So what she determined at the end of the day, and she just said basically the statements that Tricia's made have not been substantiated. None of them, including the ones that her attorney is making, that there was mismanagement of funds. Basically saying you can't make these kind of claims for all of the money and fraud. And even though he didn't use the word fraud, he used misappropriation. And the judge is like, yeah, that's a lot, man. That's a heavy, heavy burden. So the judge decided that we're gonna appoint an independent administrator, which is actually probably for the best. Even though, based on the filings and based on Mr. Balin's arguments and based on the Cedar Hill attorney's, written letter, Linda wasn't going to get a dime. That was all going to go through to, the 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 to the 3 different communities that are part of Tri-City. So the judge is just like named a woman, last name is Key. I don't know how far are you in. Let's see. And posted a bond of $10,000. Go ahead and appoint. I'm going to go ahead and appoint somebody. And they kind of do just some sort of going through people's names. Then they land on Miss Key. And they put a call out to her to see if she was available to do the administration. Then they talked about the Duncanville lawyer and that he would get permission or authorization from the city council at their meeting on the 18th, which, like I said, did show up on the agenda for Duncanville, Texas, city council meeting. Let's see. And then he mentioned that he will enter an appearance for the city and talk to Ron about doing the same. So Ron was the the guy that already submitted a letter. Permission from the counsel on the 8th. So they handled that apparently in executive session based on what I saw on the public records for Duncanville. Yeah, and then it just said, you know, basically to coordinate together the respective attorneys. And then dependent administrator. Who said that? I can't remember who. Miss Cooper, can you get Miss? Okay, so they were trying to get a scheduling order. Do you want to proceed with a jury trial? So this is interesting to me. So the judge asked Balin and Strawn, do you want to do like a bench trial or just have the court hear whatever? Or do you want a jury trial? Which I thought was fascinating. And Balin said, well, we just need a day. You know, we'll do whatever. We just need a day. And then I'm trying to find out what, you're going to get a scheduling order. I've seen no scheduling order. But then she also mentioned mediation. Do you know if there's any safety deposit boxes? So she just goes through again. Then she muted herself, went off and talked to Miss Peggy about, Charlotte Key was her name. So considering Charlotte Key as administrator, the docket coordinator, Miss Peggy, some dates for, okay. And then, I haven't spoken about that yet. Then they talked about a mediator. And then they settled on somebody. And it should be noted that Mr. Balin is actually a mediator for the court. And obviously he can't be for this case. But they mentioned that. So I thought that was interesting. And then he went on to say, you know, again, Miss Linda Daphne's lawyer went on to say, look, if you're going to appoint a representative, we can just submit the respective claims to Miss Key and she can be the one to determine it. You know? Why don't you just let the administrator take a look at it? Yeah. Who gives a shit? There's no real claim here anymore. And this is when Mr. Strong was like, yeah, I think it's crossing the river, or, you know, chopping off our nose to spite our face and getting out ahead of ourselves, setting a court date. Well, yeah. And the judge said something to the effect of like, yeah, you haven't done discovery yet. And I'm like, ooh, discovery. Does that mean that Tricia will have to cough up the stolen phone and the handbag that she's told her entire audience and everybody that she stole? Yeesh. Okay, so what else? That was pretty much it. That was it. That was it. So, what do you guys think? Huh? Thoughts? Anybody? That was it. It's kind of it. What do you guys think? So, Elsie Elder said she ain't getting jack. And Lover Bad Pun says if she gets a settlement, I'll blow a gasket. Yeah. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. Because my impression, and again, I'm sure when Tricia rushes out and pays that $182 for the official transcripts, we can all read for ourselves that there's a whole lot of proving that she's going to have to do. And a whole lot of phone and purse giving over to the court administrator, to the third party or to the independent administrator, she'd have to say, you know what, actually, I have her phone. I have her handbag. Gonna have to turn that over to the court. That'd be a fun discovery, wouldn't it? Yee. Yeah, so it's in an administrator's hands. All eyes, correct, thank God. So, lover of bad puns, disgusted your legal system makes it easy for her to horn in. Well, you know, the thing is that it makes it easy for creditors to access money they're owed. So, it's not easy per se. What it is that, you know, creditors do have a right to be paid out of the proceeds of probate. Tricia's just a scam artist. So, I don't know. I mean, that's why it's like I'm wondering who's paying for her lawyer. The pay her to go away money. Nobody's got money. And this is the thing, lover of bad puns. I mean, I get it. But again, nothing's happening. So keep in mind, nothing's going to happen because it's in the hands of an administrator. It's not in Linda Daphne's hands. It's not in anybody's hands. It's not available to anybody. Like that ship done sailed. So so I just want to do a little thought experiment. If this lawyer signed on to a contingency basis predicated on some lies and horseshit that Tricia made up about all this money she were owed, that I could see. I could see he did that, but finding out maybe very quickly that she's a big liar face after that hearing. But unless that lawyer can figure out a way to utilize the stolen phone information that Tricia herself, again, has said that she took, don't give a shit why she said she took it. She said she took it because Janet told her to. Ma'am, she did not say take it and keep it and deprive my estate of it forever. That is theft. You took it, you meant to take it, you've kept it. That's theft. It's not that hard. You're a thievy thieverson. Ugh. Anyway, so unless her lawyer can cook up some way to utilize information gleaned from hacking a dead woman's cell phone and email and maybe bank accounts, who knows? Because man, she was making a lot of claims, wasn't she? Lots. I don't know how they're gonna pull it together. Right? I mean, how is he gonna pull that together? And so there are there's no further indication of any action on this case. It remains open. There's an administrator that's been appointed. Oh, CH. Let's see. No, I did not see her last. Who is paying her rent now? Right? Is that the question? Because, whew, I don't know. Was it a nice purse, Olaf said? Because if so, it would have been sold. Ew, gross. HMS Gen X lady, bless your heart. Susan Hendricks has been a talking head court TV and Lindsay Clancy. Fuck that bitch. Fuck you, lady. You wrote a signed affidavit in support of Lauren and John Mathias, who took a woman to the cleaners. You horrible jerk. Yuck. Let's see. Ooh. CH, was Tricia's home rented by Janet? If so, her estate has been paying her rent all this time. That's why Tricia's been dragging it out. That could be. I'm not sure how that would work. I mean, that's a good question, unless it was, I don't know. But the allegation on the part of Mr. Balin was, well, not even an allegation, a statement that he claimed as factual was that Janet had been paying everything all along, which again, I think we all kind of knew, right? But I don't know. So could it be a direct deposit? Sure. But now that an independent administrator, I don't know how that works with probate. So I don't know, once an administrator has it, they're going to have to take inventory of the whole estate, meaning, I think that there was mention of a savings account and an IRA that it's unclear how much money is even in it, really, and the house and these 2 cars. So they're going to have to put all of that into a blender and figure out how much is going to have to be spat out the other end. And certainly the administrator will know. It's not clear if any of us will ever know, but the administrators certainly will know where some of the money's been going. I still hold open a possibility that both Linda Daphne and Tricia could be not great. I mean, Tricia is clearly not great, but the thing is that it's out of Tricia's hands. So if she wants to say that she was trying to, doesn't an estate continue to pay? Well, who's administering the estate, right? That's the thing. I mean, I think that one of the things that I know, CH, is that Linda did pay the property taxes on Janet's house is up to date. So that was paid after she died. So that was current. So things were getting paid. Was Linda acting as her administrator? I mean, I guess. Yeah, taxes. I don't know about utilities. Let's see. Strawn, All Eyes says, Strawn was listing things he believed could exist, but ultimately said he didn't actually know. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, house, cars, and a chunk of the IRA. What an absolute hobgoblin. So when Tricia says she had a good day in court, nah, she wanted it all. She wanted it all. All she had to do was say, I'm owed $5,000. That would have been enough. That would have been enough. I think people need to understand that. She could have said, actually, I'm owed $5,000. So I'm going to put this into the courts and say, I need this money. That would have been enough to make Linda, because you remember when Strawn dismissed all of the claims, supposedly, the one thing he left open was the possibility of making claims against the estate. The fraud and everything else, he was like, yeah, maybe not, even though he brought it up in the hearing, which I'm like, dude, what the fuck? But he did, leave the option open that they might want to revisit all this money stuff. And boy, did they ever. All of it. Wanted all of it. So, no, she didn't have to go do all of that. She didn't. Oh, I owe you, I'm owed $5,000. I'm going to submit this to the court. That would have been enough. That would have been enough. Thank God for courtroom troll. Andy, yes. Well, and I think about it too. Remember when everybody thought that this case was gone, that she dismissed everything? And I'm like, no, that's that's not what happened. So thank God for nerds. Thank God for autistic nerds. Going back and rereading shit. You're welcome, America. So what else? Yick. Router Repo says, Othram was brought up in the new Murdoch DNA samples being sent there. Those fuckers. Gross. Yick. Blech. What other questions you guys have? Router says, if she paid all along, the court may give her 3 months notice and cut her off. Not sure if that's the law, but maybe. Maybe. I mean, maybe if she has a lease, maybe, but who knows? We don't even know if that's an actual thing. Yeah, her retirement, but that was in an IRA. So Purple Coconut said her retirement. That was IRA. Ooh, God, Brenda, I didn't even think of this. Brenda says, wonder how many credit cards Tricia has maxed out. Do you think Tricia can get, I don't know, her pennies card? Montgomery Ward card? Oh, shit. Montgomery Ward. Do you think she's still... I'm sorry. We ever going to find the outcome? I guess not. Well, we might. Sure. I think... Because the thing is it will have to close at some point. So, Molly Colleen, it will... probate does close. Ooh, no. Oh, shit. CH. Apparently, Brandee Mulligan, you're kidding. A trolling stalking history on the... What's TT? What does TT mean? On the Teletubby YouTube? Oh, God, no. What? Oh! Oh, shit. Oh, God. You guys, I didn't want to find this. No. Sears and Roebuck, yes. TikTok, here I am. Teletubbies. What? Weirdo. Oh, creator drama. Fuck me. You know what? Oh, God. Somebody... You know how a bunch of concerned older ladies reached out to lawyers and Attorney Reddington and warned them about the fucking flaming asshole that Lauren Matthias is? Maybe. Oh my God. Why do people do this? Why do people insert themselves into cases? My eye was showing. If you know, you know. Why? Oh God, stop it. Gross. Oh God, am I gonna have to keep my eyes on this now? Ugh, grody. Tasty tit, says the old lop. Yep. Did you know that the United States has renamed the Grand Canyon the Poutine Pit? That's for you, Olap. Rabbit hole created by me. Yep. Look, I hope that it's actually going to be going into the family's hands, but I don't got a good feeling now, because I mean, the timeline feels gross. Am I gonna have to go look at this? Should we go look at and see what her weird drama is? CH Poutine Pit. Look, that orange shit gibbon wants to name everything the Gulf of America or whatever the fuck it is. We can give you the Poutine Pit. Come on over. Router Repo has a very bad feeling. Yep. Yep. Le Grand Potin Okay. You took a peek. Oh, God. Salty. What's the report? What is the report? Gulf of Mexico. Yep. You betcha. I do not love her of bad puns. Remember, Laura Owens' parents GoFundMe. I am girls, he said. I can't imagine having so little going on in my life that I would have the inclination to that kind of thing. I know. Well, Salty, so what's the scuttlebutt? You took a peek? Spell it, lady. Spell it. Oh, did I see this? Yay! Aussie, Cheryl, and Mana, thank you for the jewels. Sorry, I was plowing through my notes. Thank you. Tiki Takis. Tasty tits. Right. Love it. Sears Roebuck cards. Yeah. Yeah. All Eyes says, there's no reality in which Tricia did enough chores to deserve Janet's home and life's work, period. I mean, no shit. I mean, that happy dance. She must be super happy about getting all the monies that she's just not going to get. I mean, there is no, just going back to the Tricia's great day at court, there's not even a mediator. There's not a mediator because there was no need for mediation. There's an independent administrator. And if they want to try to, make a run at it, they're going to have to get through they're going to have to get through an administrator, an independent court-appointed administrator, and Tricia's going to have to cough up that phone and that purse because there does need to be an inventory of the estate. So I think it's worthwhile, hopefully, that somebody clues in the administrator to the fact, and I'm sure that it's going to come up, like, where's all her personal items? I mean, hello? Where's her cell phone? Might come up. Yeah. So clout chasers, who are we talking about? Are we talking about the weirdo that started the fund? Yuck. Oh, Deanne. Holy shit. Deanne said that dance, referring to Tricia's happy dance, was very Buffalo Bill in front of a mirror. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yuck. This is a really good point, Brenda. I was thinking that too. I'm like, how much has Tricia not told her lawyer? Quick way to build your Teletubbies or Tasty Tits, whichever you want. CH says, your TikTok is get behind a viral case, start a GoFundMe. Yuck. Her name is everywhere now. Well, maybe CH, that's a good thing that this person's name is everywhere because there'll be heightened scrutiny. I mean, I can't imagine. I know we're all over the place, but aren't we always? That's why it's called the yard sale. But I can't imagine a world in which Reddington is fielding calls about a GoFundMe and talking to the family during the pendency of a trial to get permission. There's something going on. I don't like it, and it may just be these idiots that want to put themselves in the middle of everything, you know. Deanne, you're killing me. Stop it. Deanne says, would you grift me? I'd grift me. Buffalo Tricia. Love it. Love it. Yeah, Salty. Me too. I can't with the GoFundMe accounts. They make me nervous. Yeah, and I really put, unless it's something, I don't know if I've ever, I mean, I've only done them for actual organizations. Like there's a LGBTQ community center here in New York City that used to do them a long time ago until they got their fundraising up and running. And I mean, that kind of thing that was associated with an established charity. But this shit, mm-mm. So Bob talks to Reddington. Maybe he can get him the information. I mean, I did actually tag Bob and say, hey, man, do you know anything about a fundraiser? Because that is so fucking much money. So much money. One reporter asked what was on the table. Oh, God. Pills. Reddington said cinnamon Altoids. Dumbass. Wow. Bless his heart. I want one of those rings. What does it say? Freedom or death? I mean, right? It puts the grifties on the skin. Gross. I tagged Bob actually in the live. I didn't put it into an X. I try to stay off X too, unless I'm making fun of somebody or, you know, terrible like that. Oh my God, save your 199s, Kelly Kell. Guess who moves to NYC next week? Uh-oh. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Eee! Kelly Kell, who I'm sure aced her bar. Yay! We'll have to have coffee. Not in a weird way. Well, welcome. Welcome to the friendliest city on earth. Yay! Oh no. CH said 7 years ago, a friend's grandchild died suddenly on holiday. Scammers. CH. Scammers read the story, started a GoFundMe. It took a week to get it zapped. Oh my God. Oh, yuck. And see, this is again going back to these people who try to center the story on themselves and the harm that it causes. My God, gross. Ugh, God, that's heartbreaking. But I think it just, I think that is just, yuck, so bad. New York. Well, I'm not going to triangulate you, Kelly Kell, but, I'm on the island, not the Long Island, the Manhattan Island. It's just a big island. Yuck. Ugh. Learned about a next level ambulance chaser after G. brother died. Oh, looking up accident lawyer adjacent sites. Oh, I hate that. What? Who even thinks of that shit? Gross. If you have any empty cardboard box I can rent, good luck. Look, it's nuts. I don't know who lives here. I mean, truly, it's like we have rent stabilized, lived 100 years. I don't know what district you need to live in or what borough, but a cardboard box might be all you have. Humanity needs to go, says Lover of Bad Puns. Could not agree more. Could not agree more. Rata Repo, Kelly Kell, advice not asked for. I hope you contact Mr. Betterow once you pass the bar. Seems amazing and would buy you a steak dinner. I'm sure, and Kelly Kell, I won't put you on the spot, but you had to have a feeling, right? After exams, you got a feeling where you're like, nailed it. Or you're like, maybe I just slid by tort exams. Not speaking from personal experience, but I am. Or like when I mentioned criminal law, I'm like, ugh. I didn't think I did. I thought I did better than that. But you had to have some kind of vibe, right? Coming out of that. But you find out in October. I'm sure you nailed it. I'm sure you nailed it. And I'm sure it was because Olaf and I were, and CH, were all bugging the shit out of you on your Law Machine account. Same. I believe it too. Don't eat the steak. All right. Well, where's my cat? Where did she go? Should we go see if we can do a toot toot colon blow? And then I'm gonna. Hang on. I gotta unplug. What a mess. Where's my baby? Oh, I don't know where she went. Did she go hide somewhere? Is it poopy butt? Where are you? Oh, there you are. Ah. Oh, you mommy's baby? Are you my baby? Oops, there she is. Say hello. Wait, look up here. Oh, there she is. Toot toot. Look over here, baby. Hey. Hey, lady. Toot toot. Toot toot. Hey. Toodles, look up here. Hey. Oh. Ee. Could you not just die? My God, that cat. Whoo, it's hot. Hell. Anyway, cat being a cat. So yeah, I think that might be it for today. Humanity. Oh, the humanity. Final questions. Cat. Yes. Better live stream. Yeah. I am Grillsy. Better live stream results day. Yikes. That might be oof. That might be too scary. So wait. Oh, shut up. Salty. Dr. Ava Mack no longer employed with the children's clinic. Oh, this is giving shades of who's that idiot? God help me. What's his name? The dingbat that fabricated his resume for the Karen Reed trial? Burgess. Yeah. Wow. Wow, Commonwealth. What are you doing? What are you doing, Commonwealth? Oh. 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 Eee. Oh my God, you have two cats named Dave and Carol? Yes. Love that. Yeah, Sean. Oh God, that's a. Oh man. Well, look. All right, what day is it? Friday? All right. I don't know. What are you guys doing this weekend? Anything fun? Commonwealth going Commonwealth. Um, what am I doing? I don't know, man. I'm still like trying to get my brains back. And getting ready for the school and starting reading, which is fun. Which is fun. I don't know. But oh shit. And I do have to, damn it. I still am working on the pet of the week. Damn it. I have all my pets. I have all my pets. If you go to the community page on my YouTube and drop the picture of your delightful, I'm gonna star this. Holy shit. Ava Mack went to Dalton School. Yuck. Where Jeffrey Epstein was mathematics teacher there in the 70s. Look. Awful. Carol Erskine wrote a good tweet on the on the Commonwealth. Yeah, Judge Erskine. I was just in the UK. Is it a bank holiday? Yep, 28th. And you have 31st off. Wait, don't you have the Monday off too? So I think you have bank holidays. Wait, isn't it Grillsy? Public holiday, right? Bank holiday. So isn't there also 31st? Maybe I'm making that up. I just got back from there. My sister lives there. Oh, thank you for the jewels, Brenda K. And some sunshine. Do we have a holiday also? I wish. Actually, I don't know where are you, Router Repo? There's no more holidays in the United States. It's anarchy. Monday off is a bank holiday. Yep. That's what I thought. What? Deanne turning 55 on September 1st. Yay, yay, yay. Oh, Labor Day, right. Oh, shit. Is that the... Oh, my God. Wait. Huh? When is Labor Day? I just had a birthday on August 17th that could be close to that age as well. Ooh. Is Labor Day next week? So happy pre-birthday. Deanna, happy pre-birthday. Is it? What is wrong? I can't. I guess it is, right? Jesus Christ. Hang on. Let me look it up. Labor Day. September 7th. Okay. So it's late this year. Is that a thing? Okay. I don't know. But happy birthday, Deanne. What does that make you? I'm a Leo. So wait a second. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Purple coconut. August 17th is my birthday. What? Yep. Same. So you're a Virgo. I'm a Leo. Coconut's a Leo. Okay. Coming in hot. So happy birthday to all of the belateds and earlies and all of those things. Your mom was on the OG Labor Day, right? Birthday September 5th. Thank you. Happy birthday. Woo. Thank you, Felicia. It's my late birthday. Coconut. Man, birthdays. Yay. So, what's next? What are we doing next around this joint? Oh, on the members page, there's also the video I'm working on. I think I mentioned this the other day. Just a little bit of a sneak peek, not much, into false police reports in three jurisdictions that Lauren Matthias has wrought. So I started working on that. Also, put all your pets on the community page on YouTube. I'm working on Pet of the Week. Totally forgot, spaced it out. But every week coming up, we'll be doing week number 5, a little behind, and just featuring everybody's pets, and all of that. Happy belateds, happy birthdays to all the things. And what else should we do? Should we do something else with, so that's kind of my project now, is digging into how much Lauren Matthias has crossed the legal limits with actually false police reports. I'm gonna have to find out more about this GoFundMe, aren't I? Oh, Hurricane Dolly. Oh, working 9 to 5. Oh, happy birthday to your nephew, Hurricane Dolly. I love that. I really do. Hey, huzzah, party hat. Thank you, Aussie, Cheryl, and Amanda. Thank you. Tropical Storm Dolly. I love that. I hope it's I hope that it's going out to sea. That it's going to be a benevolent storm. A benevolent storm. Bringing love. Right? So, all right, I think that's it. I don't know what the hell else I'm gonna do, but yes, hit the like. That sounds great. Yay. Let's have a birthday party for Andy and have the chat. Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna have to follow up now on this this GoFundMe situation. I'm concerned. Yuck. But anyway, all right. So, yes, kind and entertaining, benevolent tropical storm that's moving out, in the Atlantic. Okay? That's all right. Just Dolly, do your thing in the Atlantic. Fortnum and Masons. Not sure what that means. Yeah, Atlantic storms. Yeah. Where is it right now, Salty? Is it where off the Gulf of Mexico? Misinformation. Yeah, Dolly. Ugh. So sad. I told the story the other day how my brother and I got to name my little sister, and we named her Jolene after the great song. All right, so you know what? Here's the deal. I'm hangry. It's getting hot here in the city. And you guys, as you know. Oh, also I'm going to be doing some Delphi rehashing. So anyway, all right, you guys, as always, you guys suck. And I absolutely hate you all, the very, very least, as you well and truly know. And yeah, so